For every sorrow, battle, scar, and fear.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in for another Artist Highlight interview. Today we have Mia Koehne here. Mia, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm so excited to connect with you again and hear about everything you guys are doing. This is great.
Yeah, thank you. Man, it's been so long. So guys, Mia and I go way back. It has to be like 10, 12.
At least, because I moved from the Chicago area to Phoenix 11 years ago.
Okay.
So it's been at least that.
So when we were playing together, you were living in Chicago?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's been a while, yeah. Because we were in the band Ordained by Christ.
Yes.
And this was right after, no, this was during high school. So I was like 17 or 18 when we started that band.
Oh, a little young.
And I'm 32. About to be 30.
Oh, I won't say how old I am, but it's all good.
All right, it's all good. So how are you and the family doing? During this time, for anyone who's just tuning in right now, there's a pandemic where a lot of people are staying at home just to stay safe. A lot of like airborne stuff. So, people are staying home with their families just to make sure that it's not spreading. So,
yes.
But Mia, how are you and the family doing?
We are doing well. We're figuring life out. But being perfectly honest and transparent, it's been emotionally very difficult for me as someone who already struggles with depression and anxiety. Man, I've had some dark moments. So that's been hard. Normally, because I'm on the road, typically I tour full time. And so I'm on the road a lot of 5 days a week sometimes. And so readjusting my frame of mind and remembering my purpose while I'm just feeling stuck and isolated has been very difficult. But you know what? I have a wonderful community. We're getting through it. I have a COVID grandbaby coming.
Nice.
So
congratulations.
That's exciting. Our family is with the being on lockdown, our family's growing, so that's a good thing.
That's awesome. Yeah. So, when is that your daughter's?
Yeah, child? my youngest daughter. She and her husband are expecting in December. So
December, there we go. That's awesome. Yeah. Oh man, praise the Lord. Yeah. Now, is it a boy or girl? They don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
Too early.
We will. They're going to find out, so it'll be exciting. Okay.
Cool.
But with that said, thank you to what you guys are doing to really encourage singers, songwriters, musicians, what we can do while we are all locked in and staying safe. So thank you.
Yeah, no, thank you. You know what? As we're entrepreneurs, so we always have to really adjust to what's happening around us.
Exactly.
So, we're usually posting the lessons online, but this is the studio space that we use to record. Since no one can come over, we're like, how can we, still make sure that we're consistently interacting, with everyone, but then also still give out to our students. So we're like, let's connect with people who are out there doing this so that they can be inspired and encouraged and motivated.
Yeah.
It was just like, got to keep going with it.
Yeah. And I love how you're giving back too. Like I loved everything about what you guys were doing from the very start. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah. So what's been going on with you as far as like, what kind of things have you been doing to keep yourself occupied while at home?
I've been trying to do some more writing, and by writing, and not necessarily music. I'm trying to pour words out.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes that's in music. Sometimes it's just literally like through my blogging, through my journaling. I think all of that plays a part into sometimes the creation of a song, birthing a new song. It's a long process. So I've been doing a lot of that, doing a lot of Zoom, a lot of Facebook Lives. I typically am on tour with a women's event. And so we crisscross the country, and we were, adapting and trying to make some of those events on Facebook Lives and doing some of that just to stay connected. And it's been great. I didn't know how it would go, but people were tuning in and it was fun.
Yeah, good. That's awesome. So can you tell me a little bit more about the women's event, when you started doing that, How did it
Yeah,
develop? What are you guys doing?
that's called Aspire Women's Events, and we are in our 6th year of doing that. Excuse
Awesome.
me. The first year we really just did one, and it was in response to a lot of what we do was working with concerts, Christian concerts and promotions, and the music industry really changed suddenly about 6 years ago for a nonprofit production company. And so we had to ask ourselves, what are we going to do to continue doing what we do and our purpose? And so we started doing a women's event, a one-night event. We did one the first year. It went well. I think we had over like 1,000 women that showed up.
No way.
Yes.
That's awesome.
And then we continued, like the second year we did 4. And then the third year we kind of blew up and did 16. And now in our 6th year, we're probably doing close to 150, dare I say, maybe 200 even this year, events around the country, just one-night women events with a speaker, a teacher, a comedian, and a musician. And I filled the musician role.
Yeah, that's
It's been great.
Cool.
It's been great.
And you are doing this like on the weekends or something? Or?
Yeah, we typically do a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. We'll fly into area and maybe kind of drive out from there. But this semester we lost a lot of shows in the spring due to the virus, but we are scheduled to do about 50 shows this fall, and sometimes with 3 different teams. So we might be in 3 different parts of the country on the same given night. So it's been fantastic.
That's so cool. And you're in Arizona now, right?
I am, yeah.
Okay. Have you guys come to Chicago lately?
Yes, we have. And I think, yeah, we did. But I can't remember which town. It's all a blur sometimes. But a lot of getting Milwaukee, Indiana, that area. So
you
it's
can't
been
just flow through here.
Yeah.
I got to see you next time you come up here. I got to see you. That's why I'm asking.
I know you can sneak. I know it's a women's event, but you can sneak in the back.
All right.
We've even had men that have bought tickets and they'll just be sitting in the front row. I'm like, hey, whatever works.
There you go. He's like, I'm gonna relay this to my wife. That's why I'm
exactly. There you go.
That's so cool. But yeah, so I also want to talk a little bit about kind of like just what's been happening nationally and globally, just in our nation, as far as just a lot of the division and racial situations that are going on at the moment. Have you guys been, handling all of that?
It's been tough. I think what it has done, it's stirred up, for me personally, it has stirred up things in my life. We're talking about the racial. It's stirred up things in my life that I think I may have gotten used to just suppressing. And so it's really made me have to face some of the hurts and wounds that I've experienced over time. It's made me have to deal with showing grace to people that have hurt me. I think, and I'm not speaking for the masses or globally, I'm speaking from a personal space where I've had to reconcile that I have people of all nationalities that are friends and dear friends, and we love each other. And I think sometimes it's not even that we say things out of being racist, but sometimes we say things, and I'm including myself in this, sometimes we say things out of just because we are ignorant to the situation, and we don't know how our words affect people or how they hurt people. And I think that can happen no matter what race and color we are. And so a lot of this time has really caused me to reflect on my thoughts and go deeper and dig into my heart. And I pray that as I dig deeper, as we all dig deeper, that our hearts change and our minds change, and that there's transformation, because I think on the biggest scale, change happens when we have a heart change and we can talk with love. And I think when we talk with love, and are persistent, that to communicate that change can happen. And sometimes it's slow, but sometimes it has to happen one by one in the circle of people that I'm in, and the circle of people that we're in, and hopefully it grows from there, because we do want to see change of hearts and change of minds.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome. I love that you said one by one, because literally just talking to one person about it, you don't know who their circles are. Right. And they can reach someone else. They can reach someone else. Just like how the scriptures say, he's telling Timothy, I want you to disciple someone who's going to disciple someone else. And it's just like this whole thing with generationally, it just kind of just keeps going,
Right.
So a lot of people, we just always think we got to, showcase this big, huge thing to reach the masses. And, God is just like, hey, just start here, start at home. We want to go out there, have a platform. Are you ministering, to the kids, to your spouse, and then extended family and onward,
Exactly.
So, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, cool. So, so back to music. I want to know what got you into music, because I didn't know. You said when I had your video posted some weeks ago, you were saying you haven't been playing that long. I think you were saying like within like the last, 15 years, maybe? I forget what you said.
Right. So probably when we met is really when I first started to take it seriously. My music and my writing actually started after a division with my marriage. I've been married now for 26 years. Yeah. But we had a rough spot and we were separated. I walked out on my husband, walked on my kids. It was a disaster, but really the Lord healed and reconciled our marriage.
Love it.
And during that time of healing, when I came back, I used to sit at the piano and I would find a scripture and I would sing the scripture, or I would have a prayer or a cry and I would just sing my prayers. Now, mind you, I didn't really know how to play the piano, but I could play a C chord. I could figure out a C and, put my fingers there to make a chord. And so I would just sing these songs to a C chord. That's all I had. Yeah. But they were my heart. And then I eventually learned 3 more chords and realized if I could play 4 chords, sweet, I can write a song.
You good? Yeah.
And so I just started really making stuff up. And my husband just said to me one day, he's like, hey, Mia, like the songs that you're making up, I think they might be kind of good. You should share them. And my first instinct was like, absolutely not. They're mine. And I'm like, I'm the baby of 7. And like mine is my favorite word. Mine. And so I just didn't even think that was a thing. Like, I'm not a songwriter. I just make stuff up. And then he really pressed me and encouraged me to share them. And I did share a song, and I saw for the first time how a song that I thought was my cry and my prayer actually connected with somebody else's heart, and they were having the same feelings. And that's what music, I think, does. I'm like, I knew that. I just didn't think it applied to me. And so I really began kind of moving forward and doing that. And I just watched different doors open. And I think when we first met, literally, that may have been like one of my very first events of doing something like that, and sharing the songs and sharing the music. And from there now...
Yeah, I was young. I'm just saying, I'm like, she killing it. I was like, this is awesome.
Yeah, so now like 11 years later, it really has become a full-time mission that I've been on, to just share hope through music. And I think music is the vehicle to build a relationship, because the music sometimes stops, but the conversation can continue. And I love that.
That's awesome. I love it so much. And
I can play more than 4 chords now.
Right, exactly. And I was gonna say, like, I had your a couple of your records.
Oh, I
don't know if you remember, you had like it was like an orange. One of them had like an orange cover on it. I don't know if
way back.
Way back. It's like upstairs in a box. Like literally, we were like cleaning up.
Oh, how funny!
And it was like, yeah. Oh, and then if you guys hear the baby, you guys already know we're quarantined, so don't worry about it. But anyway, but yeah, so like I have the records upstairs, and I was telling my wife, I was like, "Oh man, it was my friend Mia from back in the day." And I think that's
Oh
when I
my
started like
goodness.
reaching out because we were cleaning up some months ago, and I was like, "Let
Yeah.
me see how she's doing this stuff," and then, like
Yeah, I
immediately
think that
reconnect.
one was literally like that was like my first one. And it
Yeah,
was like one take, like, hey, let's just go and
yeah,
hit play and record. And then
just
that
from
was
home.
it. No, it was in a friend's basement or
Okay.
something.
Yeah,
But yeah, we did that. But some of the newer ones, I've recorded more CDs since then,
yeah,
and
nice.
different processes. So it's been
hmm
cool.
And speaking of which, what's your latest album? Didn't something just drop right now?
Yes, my latest one came out, and it's called Press In. I just happen to have it right next to me.
Yeah, it's perfect. How
But
convenient.
I know, wow. That one's Press In. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an EP, so it's I think there's like
hmm
five recordings on it, and two of them are classic hymns.
hmm
Because my mom has been asking me for
hmm
years, could you please record some hymns? And
Oh man, hymns are
she's
the
like
best.
89 now, so I'm like, I
Oh
better
wow, the
better
Lord.
hurry up and do that.
Yeah, that's
Life is
awesome. And
short.
she's heard them now at
Yes,
this
she
point.
absolutely loves it. But
Loves it. Which ones
yeah,
did you do on the album?
I did. Let me just check real quick.
hmm
It Is Well and
Literally
Abide
my
With
favorite.
Me.
Abide with me.
Yeah, and then the other three are originals.
Originals. It is
Yeah.
well is literally my favorite song. Like I literally told Gabby, I was like, you better play this at my funeral. I love this so
Oh,
much. Which version, Shane and Shane on the Passion? You remember how like David Crowder, Chris Tomlin, they would do the Passion albums? It's
yeah.
all like the big. So Shane and Shane, they did one. I think it was the 2005, 2006 one. I'll send it
Okay.
to you, but they did It As Well, and that rendition is like my favorite. It's just them two, just acoustic.
Well, they're amazing.
Oh, they're phenomenal. Yep.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, I love that song. That's awesome. Cool.
Oh,
Well, we're
good.
definitely going to post those links. Definitely going to post those links below this video for everyone to,
Fantastic.
check out the album and everything. And one last thing I want to know is what's something that you have to like aspiring musicians to, like your journey, reflecting back on your journey and say someone's just starting off, what's something that some little nuggets of wisdom, that you can give?
Just from my own experience, dare to share the songs that you have in your heart. Open up your hand, release them, and allow other people to take part in the journey and the birth of the new songs that are in your heart. And some of them are going to be good, and you know what? Some of them are going to be bad, but it's okay. It's okay to even share some of the ones that are struggling, because there are other people that are out there that can add to what you're doing. Co-writing, thick skin. And then the other thing too, I think when you do really take that step into songwriting, accept criticism from people that you love and people that you respect. It's fun to get everybody to say, hey, I love your song. But you know what? Sometimes you need those people that said, hey, you know what? This needs some work, and that's okay.
Yeah. I love it. That's awesome. I love how you said thick skin, because a lot of artists, have a difficult time with taking that feedback and that criticism.
It is hard.
And and you know what? I think what conditioned me, like I studied architecture at UIC.
Okay.
But I'm not practicing it. But just I think God put me through that season because those professors were super on you. Like we will pin up our designs. There were some points where you're just like, what is this? They were just like, mark it up, or like sometimes just take it off, like, redo this. And they were just like really on it and helped us to really just get, I guess, conditioned to taking that feedback. So as a musician and stuff, I'm always just like, hey, like, just put your stuff out there. Like, don't worry about it. Like, what are you going to wait for what someone may say? It's like, you should release that, especially if God put it on you,
Exactly. So good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's awesome. Cool. Well, thank you so much. It's so good to see you.
Oh, thank you. It's good to connect with you again.
I know it. And when you come back to Chicago, I'm serious. Like we have to meet up.
Will do. Yeah, people can just go to my website, find out all the stuff I'm doing and where I'm going to be. People ask me where you're going to be. I'm like, I have to go to my website to find out. So go there too.
Right. Nice. And then what's the website?
It is miakoehne.com. And I apologize for the spelling of my last name. I blame it on my husband. But it's miakoehne.com, miakoehne.com.
Hey, I was telling Mia before this started, I was like, I've known her for over 10 years. I'm like, I always thought it was like Cohen.
I know,
like,
everybody does.
I didn't even know. Like, literally right before this video, I'm like, Kane, what in the world? So I got to go upstairs, tell Gabby, like, I've been living a lie all this time.
It's all right, because I answer literally to anything.
Yeah. What's your maiden name?
It's even worse. It's Gordelution.
Oh, no. Let's stick to Kane.
I know.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Yeah, well, it's so good to see you. And
you too.
Later. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Oh, thanks so much.
All right, bye.